Is there much of that mentality in France? Tall poppy syndrome?
No, not
No.
really. I mean, people are kind of like closed off in some way, but not as much as like New Zealand and Australia. You people are very much like supportive, I guess, in a way of what you do there. Yeah,
You would find that most people, if you had explained, "Oh, I'm trying to do film, trying to do something creative," like, "Oh, interesting," they would.
No, yeah.
They'd be more.
they'd be more supportive and
more,
interested about
and more
it.
positive.
Yeah, more positive.
Even if they're around the same age as you or a little bit older,
Mm.
you wouldn't get someone being like, "Oh, that's not going to work."
No, yeah. I was really like I never understood it. I was always confused as to like why that was a thing. I guess maybe because it's like a newer country, like compared to other countries. But yeah, I don't know. It's just there.
Yeah, it's been a common topic on the podcast. A lot of people feel that with anything creative or different that you try and pursue. Often that I think in New Zealand and Australia, even the UK to a point, it's just kind of like people don't. I think in New Zealand specifically, we're a bit more removed, and even Australia, kind of removed from the rest of the world, and we're a lot smaller. And there's kind of this idea that, we don't like people getting too big for their boots.
True.
Which is a big part of the culture, which is bad and good at the same time. There's like...
I mean, it keeps people humbled in a way. But
keeps
as well,
people
like,
humble, it doesn't... People aren't...
sometimes it pushes people back.
Correct. So that also then means people are, I don't want to do that because if everyone's going to judge me and everybody's going to think like negatively or criticize me. But unfortunately, you're going to get that with anything you do. I mean, there's nothing in life... Really, it's pretty hard in life to do anything without being criticized. I mean, and you may as well be criticized for something that you love to do. But because of art, which is all, and I think even with athletes as well, because you're so personally invested, when someone attacks it, it's like attacking like your emotions. So it can be, well, that's what my experience anyway. I've gotten very good at dealing. I know these days, internet comments make me giggle more than anything else.
No, yeah, 100%.
And when I find insults now, I find it very funny. But when I was your age, I was not very good at dealing with it.
I mean, I used to block them, but now I just let them be because it brings in the engagement.
It does. Well, then it starts working for you.
And, the haters are the biggest fans. So
they are.
Keep them in.
Yeah, I always find that really funny when... Emma from Fan Club, when she was on, your friend, she said that people were phoning her up and like quoting the lyrics back to her, but like prank calling her.
Really?
And I was like, that is such a bizarre hater thing to do.
No, yeah.
Because they've obviously spent time listening to the music or even like for watching your film.
Yeah.
And spent this time to then find the number and then call and then make fun of it. That's so much effort.
It's so weird because even with Little Lou, I know, like it's not the best. Obviously, it could be better, but the improvement from our first one to Little Lou was
massive. It was huge.
Good.
But
people still found a way to like not like something. I noticed people were like, "Oh well, this movie set in 2002, and there's a magazine from 2003." Like just small stuff. They really like dig into it.
I saw that actually. It was like a 2016 magazine, but I was just like, you can only do so much.
No, yeah.
Finding a magazine from 22 years ago is a bit tricky.
Pretty hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really like interesting, like that whole concept of tall poppy syndrome, and yeah.
It is something that I would like to be a bit better in New Zealand, but I think it just comes down to culture, size of the country, and ultimately what you will find surprising is if you continue on, hopefully continue to be successful, especially moving out of New Zealand.
Oh yeah.
Everyone will be like, "Oh, Antoine, he's ours, he's from New Zealand." That's generally how this works.
True.
A good example of that, can't remember if I've explained on the podcast before, probably, is Lorde. So she's a classic case of, in New Zealand, I think she made a bit of music, released it. People, I don't know what was told to her when she was younger, but probably nothing.
I mean, she went to my high school.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Damn.
There's stories about how she used to have like rotten pears thrown at her. While like in high school for like just doing music.
Damn. Yeah, music students aren't cool in school, I'll tell you that. Because I was one. But what I found interesting was as soon as she went over the ditch, well, not to Australia actually, to America, and her song Royal started blowing up, everyone was like, "Oh my god, like New Zealand, we're amazing. Oh my gosh, Lorde is ours." But beforehand, there's this part which is like very hypocritical. It's like, well, you didn't do anything in the beginning. Like you were hating and people were like not sure about it, and judging. So that's always something I've laughed at ever since, seeing things like that. Happens in sport as well, like with the All Blacks, as soon as we lose, it's like
Yeah.
the worst team that's ever existed.
yeah.
Never mind winning like 4 World Cups or something. Unfortunately, bro, it's just where we are. So you just have to learn how to deal with it. But it sounds like you've got a good mentality. So I think just, I think also just trying to be a bit more empathetic. That's what I find
Yeah.
is another good thing
I mean,
to do.
with stuff like that, like anyone can like make a film. Anyone can, I don't know, be a musician. But like it's actually that step of like overcoming that. You have to actually get out there and put yourself out there, which is not a very easy thing for many to do. Which is why I think a lot of people either criticize it or just don't do it. Yeah, I think that's where it mainly comes from. I think.
It's also just want to be good at things straight away.
Yeah.
I think that's like, I think now more than ever, because of just instant access, instantaneous satisfaction from, using phone or access to media, we just get such hits from doing nothing.
Yeah.
And so trying to learn a skill like how to use a camera properly, or how to record audio properly, or play an instrument, or if it's how to write a script. Writing scripts are hard. Writing a script is not easy.
Definitely.
So, and your first 10 might be really crap, but that's not to say you shouldn't keep writing scripts. Just means you get better with each one. You get better with each one. You get better and better. So I think it's just that beginning part, you have to be able to like fight off and sort of be like, have a bit of tunnel vision.
Yeah.
To sort of drive yourself to achieving what you really, seeing the end goal and being like, nah, there's gonna be something great in here. I just need to like keep going, because otherwise you're letting other people's noise get in the way. And
No, yeah, 100%.
it's not really going to be that. But the critical feedback, you always got to, if people spend the time to give you like critical
Good
feedback and like say
yeah.
like, this isn't working, that's not great, maybe you should consider this. Always listen to
It's
that.
definitely helpful and useful. Yeah, the critical feedback.